the USA, the United States of Amusement, and on one side of the park you have the hags, and on the other side of the park you have the puppets. And the side with the hags, people live there, and it's like fucking Fright Fest at Six Flags, and you have the hags walking around at night. The fucking hags are walking around hunched over with their cane, with their fucking lantern, and they're listening to everything you have to say. And on the other side, you have the fucking puppets, right? And nobody lives there, right? Not a single fucking person actually lives there, right? Because we know who's pulling the strings, right? We know who's pulling the strings. Take a look at Kamala Harris, right? And then take a look at who her husband is, right? Yep. Take a look at her husband and what his background is. And then it wouldn't be hard to figure out why Kamala Harris got to where she was, you know? How she almost became president, you know? That's not hard to figure out, right? And these are our options, right? Well, if you don't like Donald Trump, well, here are your two options, right? Bad or worse. In the United States of America, right? The United States of Amusement, the USA. Everybody take a look, right? We have hags and fucking puppets, and we can reach out to our leaders. Yeah, a leader of fucking alcohol. That's what I reach out to when there's a problem. What else am I supposed to do? Pick up the phone. Congressman Pinocchio, I just found out something that's really troubling. What are we going to do about it? You know, I found out that Donald Trump's spiritual advisor has been sexually abusing a 12-year-old. Oh, thank God. Thank God, yeah. What a sigh of relief, you know. We have Ted Cruz handling the situation. Thank God about that, right? And that's what it's like, people, right? It doesn't matter what side you choose. You can choose the hags or the fucking puppets, right? Because both sides are designed for our delight and for our profit, right? The USA, the United States of Amusement. But, like I said, at least if you go to the side of the hags, people live there, but it's a lot spookier, you know? But people do actually live there, and at night the hags are walking around, and they're listening to everything you have to say, you know? They're walking around hunched over. In one hand they have a cane, and in the other hand they're holding up a lantern, right? And you can't get too close to the fucking hags, because if you get too close, they'll poke you with their cane, and they'll point their fucking cane at you, and they'll say, "Don't you dare say something about my country. Don't you dare say the name of my country." And I'll say, "What? The tuna is crunchy?" I'll say, "What's the problem? I like crunchy tuna, you know?" I'll say, "Get out of here, you fucking hag. Shoo! Go away, you fucking hag." But the hags will come and find you, right? The hags will come and find you because they have spyware on your phone. They can hear everything you're saying. They have cameras all over the fucking place. They have your phone tapped and everything like that, right? So we got puppets and we got hags. That's our options here, guys. Puppets and fucking hags. That's the USA, the United States of Amusement, right? And I'm telling you right now, you can be home at night, and that doesn't mean that you're safe, right? Because you might be sitting there on the couch with your wife, late at night, relaxing, and you might hear something outside, right? You might hear the wind rustling. You might hear the tree branches tapping on the side of your house, and you look up at the window, and you're like, "Oh, shit! A fucking hag." You might fucking jump up off your couch, right? You might look up at the window and you might see a fucking hag peeking inside your fucking house. And you might fucking jump up like, "What the fuck? It's a fucking hag." And your wife will be like, "Honey, what is it? What's wrong?" And you're like, "Over there, look." And she'll look over at the window and nothing will be there, right? Nothing will be there. And you'll be like, "I swear I fucking saw it. It was a fucking hag. It was a fucking hag right there peeking inside." And your wife would be like, "Honey, I think you had a few too many drinks tonight. Let's get you to bed, right? Let's get you to sleep because it's late. You had a couple of drinks and there's nothing outside, right? There's nothing there." And then you start to think to yourself, maybe my wife's a honeypot, right? Maybe my wife's a honeypot. Maybe she wants me to go to sleep so she can let the hag inside the fucking house, right? And that's how it is. That's how it is, people. We live in a constant state of paranoia in this fucking country, right? Because we have puppets and we have fucking hags. And the hags are all over the fucking place, listening to everything you have to say, right? Walking around late at night, walking around with a fucking cane in one hand and a lantern in the other hand, listening to everything you have to say, right? Lurking in every dark alley, just waiting for you to slip up, right? So they can report it. So they can report it to the people that they're working for, right? To infiltrate our lives and to infiltrate the places where we live. But we only have two options here, right? It's either the world of the hags or the world of the puppets. So, and nobody lives in the world of the puppets, that's for sure, right? The only people that you find in the world of the puppets, right? The liars, the puppets, the people like this, well, that's the lawmakers, the politicians, the Congress, and the people in the media, right? Nobody else fucking lives there. Not a single fucking person lives there. So, we're all living in the world of the fucking hags. And, like I said, it's a lot spookier, but those are the only options that we have here in the USA, the United States of Amusement.